Hi y'all, I'm Allison and welcome to the Mighty BuJo. Today we're going to begin setting up my 2019 brand new bullet journal. We've got 8 double pages to get through today, but before we can get going, we gotta get this puppy unwrapped and decorate the cover. So I decided to go with a bright yellow this year, and instead of doing stickers on the front or washi tape, I decided to use these rub-on numbers and some little flourishes to go with it. These are really cool because they're flush with your book. They won't stand up, so they won't peel off. And to make sure everything's all nice and straight, I'm using washi as a guideline, which works out perfectly since the paper is see-through. Now it does come with its own burnishing tool, but I have one left over from my scrapbooking days that's a little easier to manage. You could probably even use like a credit card or anything flat surface to transfer the numbers over to your book. But all you do is just lay it down and just rub the tool over it and it leaves the paper. And then these are some more extra decorative elements that I'm going to use to dress it up a little bit. So you can see how they lift off. And you can cut them out to kind of play around with them and see what kind of look you want. There's so many possibilities. Now sometimes if they won't lift up, you can see where that one did, and you just go back over it again and just peel it up and keep doing it. And eventually the whole thing will transfer over. Now that the bottom corner was done, I thought I would offset it by doing the upper corner. And as you can see, there are a ton of possibilities with these. I did find these over at Hobby Lobby. I think they're like a couple of bucks for each sheet. And by overlapping them, it makes it look like one big design. And just keep going until it's all done, and then lift off your plastic. I couldn't get my nail underneath it, so I used a thumbtack. And then these are stickers, and I thought it would be the perfect complement. So we're going to use Dream, and it looks like it's just blending in. Now I've got 5 old bullet journals and I'm constantly flipping through them trying to find things. So I thought before I get started on this one, I'm going to set up a master index called Where Is It? What I did was I went through all of my old bullet journals and had a piece of scrap paper and wrote down anything that would be useful to go back through that I might want. And then once I had them all listed, I grouped them into categories. So we've got bullet journal, collections, medical appointments, and then for each thing, I wrote down which volume it was in and what page it was on. So now I won't have to dig out all of my old books trying to find where were the Disney movie collection or what was that idea I had for a bullet journal video. Now I can just look there and easily find my old ones. So if you've got a whole bunch of bullet journals, consider doing a master index. And now we can move on to my little quote page. This year, I am going to make an effort every month to have a little bit of fun and get back to doing the things I used to love doing. So now we're going to draw a key to go on my key page. So I just drew the long stem of it and started out with a heart and adding a little curl down at the bottom and up at the top. And then over here there's a backwards S and a regular S. And then you could just add like a bean shape to the space there in the middle and add a sideways S up top with its mirror image. And there you go, you have a Victorian key. It's quite simple once you realize all you're doing is just flipping your image from left to right. Now, I wanted to put a key in even though I no longer need to refer to one, for anyone who may stumble across my bullet journals in the future, with as much time and effort as I put into them and all of the memories and the journaling that I have in them, I know that there's no way I would ever get rid of them. So maybe one day in the distant future, one of my grandchildren or great-grandchildren will come across all of my bullet journals and will want to spend some time flipping through them and getting to know me. And if they can't understand what all my little symbols mean, then they're going to miss out on a lot of it. So I am taking the time to add a key. So I have an old register of my grandparents from back in the 40s. It's just their finances. And it's just fascinating to see how much things cost then compared to now. So I've kind of got that in mind with my bullet journals. I'm hoping they'll get carried from house to house way down the road. But anyway, what you saw flash over there a second ago was the key that I originally tried to copy for mine. And I think it turned out pretty close to the original. And even if it didn't, I'm quite happy with it. And this really thin, this is a LePen 005. It's perfect for getting the intricate line work. Okay, so now we're moving on to our standard year at a glance. So this is just calendar with 12 months on it to see the entire year. And I had meant to note down the dimensions of these boxes, and I'm so sorry, but I forgot to. I'm quite behind this year. I got sick on New Year's Eve is when it hit me, and I had most of my pages done before the year finished out, and I expected to get this video up within the first couple of days of January, but I was sick with a really, really, really bad cold and sore throat, and it took me about almost 2 weeks to get over it. Plus I didn't get my Christmas put away until like January 8th. Normally that comes down on the 1st. So I'm a little bit behind the scenes, or behind the game. So yeah, I don't have any dimensions. I'm just quite happy now that I am finally getting this video up. Oh, and this will be part 1 of probably 3. So if you want to see what I'm doing for financial trackers, medical, pets, and all of your standard bullet journal pages, like to read, movies to watch, wish list, all of that stuff, be sure and keep an eye out for the next 2 videos. Hopefully they'll be up soon. So, and subscribe if you haven't. But I went with a bright pink and brown for my colors this time, and tying in my theme of creating some joy this year. And now I've got the, vertical future log, which this way works for me. I really enjoy having the vertical one. It gives me the space I need, and I like how it looks. I tend to give some extra time to the pages at the front of my book because you're looking at them for months instead of just 1 month. If it's like, oh, this is kind of annoying. If it's only a month, you got to deal with it. It's no big deal. But when you're constantly flipping back to these for 3, 4, 6 months, I think it's worth the time to, make them look nice and pretty. Even though it's quite basic. So I just set out, I think 5 months ahead, and then I have my last column for and beyond, and that's anything that falls past June, obviously. I did all of the holidays in red, and then birthdays in a turquoise color. And down here, I know I will be doing some version of Valentine's for February, so I'm putting a rose down at the bottom. And the other months, as I pick out the theme, then I'll add an illustration at the bottom of each of those as well. And I will be doing these with the colored pencils. Now, I'm excited about my February layout. I figured out what I wanted to do back in November, and I can't wait to set up my monthly view. So watch for that. I think I'm just going to skip January this year and go straight on to February. I haven't even set up my pages yet, and we're already January 14th. Yeah, it's sad, and I'm so lost. I need my bullet journal. Here's just a crude little arrow. And I'll also color in the days of the week for each month with the color coordinating to the bottom. So now we're going to move on and do my hobby tracker, and I'm starting off with a washi tape, but it's gonna change. I decided I don't want this color on it. So now this is tying in with my theme for getting back to the things I used to love. So every month this year, I am going to make the effort to pick one of my old hobbies and at least spend a little bit of time every day working on it. Whether it's scrapbooking, needlepoint, sewing. I want to make my pencil cases, which I've been talking about for probably a year now, and I'm really excited to do them. Or jigsaw puzzles, just whatever. I've found that so busy all the time and always feel like you have to accomplish something and improve something, whether it's yourself or your house or everything. And I find that I need some time to just enjoy life. So I'm going to make an effort this year to get back to doing the fun things. After I get rid of this washi tape, I decided I don't want it for this one. We're going to use it on the next page instead. So instead, from that planner tube from Paper Studios, I'm going to use these fun little to-go coffee cups and this other one with the gold, just a little gold band down the center. With this page nice and bright. Now these little calendars are, if I do my chosen hobby for the day, then I'm going to color it in. And coloring in squares is a great motivator for me. And there's some of the things I like to do. And they're assigned colors. And then if I do more than one in a day, I will just stripe the box. So far in January, with being sick and trying to get Christmas up and setting up my bullet journal, I haven't done anything. But I have high hopes for February. Now this is pretty much a repeat of the previous page, but the boxes are aligned a little different. And this one's going to be a little fancier. We've got that washi tape out again. And this is for my mini challenge. And this one is about creating good habits. So instead of doing a New Year's resolution, I pick something that I want to work on for the month. Whether it's getting laundry done or something towards my weight loss, like walking. And this is just, you focus on one thing at a time each month, and hopefully by the end of the month, it's become part of your routine. So, and again, if I do my task, then I will come in and color it. Decided I didn't like that first washi, and I wanted something with more gold. Now, I've said before that I will do a video on the mini challenge and show how I do funnel this down into the monthly view and into the weekly. So that is a video I will have coming up soon, I hope. And oh geez, I forgot what this one is, but we've got a vanishing point and we're setting up a floor. Oh, I remember. This is for goal setting. These are my goals that I have for this year that I hope to accomplish. And making a little finish line. This will be a checkerboard floor or ground. So to make it look like a checkerboard floor, as you get farther up on your boxes, just make them narrower. You'll see they're wide at the bottom and then get narrow at the back. And that's how you keep it in perspective. And then we've just got a little banner running across my checkerboard floor. And just color it in. This is actually kind of a fun page to do. Now, if you'd like a more detailed view on how vanishing points work and drawing in perspective, I did a how to draw a Christmas scene, and that explains it at a slower pace at the beginning of the video. So I'll put a link up if you want to go and check that out. But pretty much you draw a line above your horizon and then put a dot in the center. And then to get your planks, if you will, you mark off like every other square. You want them equidistant apart. And then you line up your ruler with your dot in the center and your little tick mark at the bottom. And then you just draw your lines. There's the basis for my finish line. And then writing goals in the banner. And I decided to go with gray and yellow because of the cover of my book. I have a feeling there'll be a lot of yellow in my pages now. Now I kept some space between the yellow and the letters because I didn't want the colors to blend together and get all muddy. And it's not as obvious because I'm about to trace the outline of these letters with the black. So it kind of takes away all that extra space. And I'm just closing off the white squares. There, it's a finish line. Isn't that cute? And there are my goals for the year. And over here, I am doing a list of household projects that are separate from the goals over there on the left. And then I've got a little scene down here. This is something I started doing a couple of bullet journals ago. Is drawing a house scene with something seasonal in the yard. And I like it. I think they're cute. And I'm leaving a space on the top of the shrubs for some snow. Just by drawing the line, then it looks like snow is sitting on top of the bushes. And by not coloring in the sidewalk all the way, again, it looks like there's some snow on the walkway. So, and I did choose a yellowish kind of cream for the house and a gray roof to tie into the opposite page. And then give it like a brick facade. And the cute little snowman in the yard. And this is going to be like a Texas yard. After we get our tree up, you will see what I mean. Every now and then we'll get enough snow to make a snowman, but it takes every bit of snow in the yard. So you end up with a little bit of snow and a lot of grass poking through. Ours is mostly ice. And I've got blue to show the horizon line and to make it look like snow, but it wasn't really showing up well, so I grabbed a gray as well. And then here's all the grasses poking out from all of the melted snow. And I thought the house looked a little too light, so I decided to darken it up a little bit. And I like how it turns out. It's much better. And then this is my list of things that needs to be done around the house. It's just waiting its turn. So there we go. It's our goals and household projects, which actually brings us to the end of part 1. So we'll do a little flip through. Here's the master index, which I'm excited. This is going to save me a lot of time. And then my key for future generations. And we've got the year at a glance. And my future log. And the hobby tracker. And the mini challenge tracker. And then we're back to our goals. So if you enjoyed this, let me know. Keep an eye out for part 2. Hopefully it'll be up in just a couple of days. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll check you next time. Bye now.